by acids? And what are called indicators? What are the different indicators are available? And what is meant by olfactory indicators? Definition of acids. What is meant by basicity or protonicity of an acid? And finally we saw about the general properties of acids, isn't it? So what are the general properties of acids? Generally acids are colorless in nature. Next, acids are highly corrosive in nature. It spoils the substances, okay, and even it spoils the human skin also. Next, it is very harmful. Acids are colorless in nature and it is soluble in water. And acids conduct electricity due to acidic solutions conduct electricity. This is due to ionization of water, right? And acids changes the color of the indicator, right? So these are some of the general properties of acids, and acids are mostly liquid in nature, but few solid acids also available. For example, benzoic acid. Benzoic acid is a solid only, but majority acids available only in the liquid state, right? So these are the general properties of acids. So now in this class we will discuss about some organic acids and their natural sources. Okay, so these things we are going to discuss today, right? So here some name of the acids. Acids are given as well as its natural sources given here. Okay. First, if you take vinegar, vinegar contains acetic acid. Okay, vinegar contains acetic acid. Next one, orange and lemon contains citric acid. Okay, these are all what a need-based one-mark question you can expect, right? So you should know these things. Orange and lemon contains citric acid. Tamarind grapes contains tartaric acid. Okay, tamarind and grapes contains tartaric acid, and tomato contains oxalic acid. Tomato contains oxalic acid. Sour milk is nothing but curd. Curd contains lactic acid. Okay, so sour milk means it is nothing but curd. Curd contains lactic acid. And in gastric juice, which acid is present? Hydrochloric acid. It is produced in our stomach, isn't it? So, gastric juice contains HCl. HCl is hydrochloric acid. Next, apples. That is green apples contain an acid that is called malic acid. Okay. So, green apples contains malic acid, and fats contain stearic acid. Fats contain stearic acid. Even in urine contains an acid that is called uric acid, right? Urine contains an acid that is called uric acid. And fresh fruits and vegetables contains ascorbic acid. Okay, which acid is present in fresh fruits and vegetables? Ascorbic acid. Next, bark, wood of tree, tea leaves contains an acid that is called tannic acid. Okay, tea leaves, bark as well as wood of the tree contains an acid that is called tannic acid. Next, green leafy vegetables contains an acid that is called folic acid. Okay, folic acid is present in green leafy vegetables. Next, rancid butter contains butyric acid. Rancid butter contains butyric acid. And antistain, bee sting contains an acid called methanoic acid. Okay, antistain and bee sting contains an acid called methanoic acid. Okay, so vinegar contains acetic acid, and orange and lemon contains citric acid. Tamarind grapes contains tartaric acid. Tomato contains oxalic acid. Sour milk that is curd contains an acid called lactic acid, and gastric juice contains HCl is hydrochloric acid. Green apples contains an acid called malic acid. Fats contain stearic acid. Urine contains uric acid. Fresh fruits and vegetables contains ascorbic acid. Okay, ascorbic acid is present in fresh fruits and vegetables. Next, tea leaves, bark and wood of tree contains chalic acid. Green leafy vegetables are present in folic acid. Folic acid is present in green leafy vegetables, and rancid butter contains butyric acid, andestin and beestin contains betamoic acid. It's a very important 1-mark questions. Okay, right. So next we can go to the chemical properties of acids. Right. So already we discussed about the physical properties of acids. Now we will see about the chemical properties of acids. Right. So first one is reactions with metals. Okay, reactions with metals. Generally, metals, when it reacts with the dilute acid, both combines to produce metal salt as well as hydrogen gases evolved. Okay, that is hydrogen gases liberated. So metal, when it reacts with the dilute acid, both combines to form a product, metal salt, along with that hydrogen gases released. For example, aluminium, zinc, calcium, magnesium, these are some of the metals, right? So zinc is a metal. Zinc, when it reacts with acid, that is sulfuric acid. What is the formula of sulfuric acid? H2SO4. So Zn is zinc metal, reacts with sulfuric acid, but it is in the diluted form, not in the concentrated form. Diluted form means what? React with water. Okay, hydrochloric acid is mixed with water. This is called dilute solution. Here you should not take concentrated solution, only we have to take the dilute solutions, right? So both react to produce zinc sulfate. This zinc sulfate is nothing but a salt. Okay, so ZnSO4 is zinc sulfate. Along with that, hydrogen gases released. Here while writing the chemical equation, you should keep one point in the you should remember one point. That is, you have to mention the each and every compound name. You have to mention the physical state of the compound name. Whether it is in the reactant side or otherwise in the product side, you should mention the physical state. If it is solid state, means you have to, inside the bracket, you have to put S. If it is liquid, you have to put L, small l. Okay. And if gas, you have to mention it G. Right? So, zinc is a solid. So, I have put S here. Plus H2SO4, it is in the diluted form. So, you have to mention DIL. Both react to form a salt, zinc sulfate. And you have to mention each and every compound name while writing the equation. Here you have to mention zinc. Here you have to mention sulfuric acid. Here zinc sulfate. And here you have to mention hydrogen. Okay, so compound name is very important here. Also you should mention the physical state. Okay, then only you will be getting full marks. Right. So next one, magnesium. Magnesium is also a metal, right? So Mg. What's the formula of magnesium? It is Mg. Mg. Magnesium is a solid plus HCl. HCl is hydrochloric acid. Okay. So it is also in the diluted form, not concentrated form, right? So inside the bracket you have to put DIL. It means diluted. Both react, that is magnesium, when it reacts with the hydrochloric acid, it forms a salt. They produce a salt, that is magnesium chloride, and its formula is MgCl2. Okay, always you should mention the first element, first name, it should be in uppercase, M, capital M, and second letter you have to use small letter Mg. Okay, small g you have to put. Along with that, which gas is released? Hydrogen. Okay. So hydrogen is a gas, so you have to, inside the bracket you have to put G. Right? So magnesium, when it reacts with hydrochloric acid, both combines to form the salt magnesium chloride and hydrogen gases released. Got it? Right. So next one is iron. Fe. It is a solid. Reacts with sulfuric acid, dilute sulfuric acid. H2SO4, both react to produce ferrous sulfate or iron sulfate. FeSO4 is ferrous sulfate or making mistakes. Okay, right. Next we can go to reaction with the metal oxides. So metal oxide, when it reacts with acid, both combines to produce salt as well as water. For example, calcium oxide. What is the formula of calcium oxide? It is CaO. So CaO is a solid, that is calcium oxide. Here you have to mention the name of the compound. CaO plus HCl, hydrochloric acid. It is also in the diluted form. Both react to produce the salt calcium chloride. CaCl2 is calcium chloride salt plus water is formed. Okay, this is a reaction happens with acids when it reacts with metal oxides. Okay, so metal oxide when it reacts with acid, which product is formed? Salt as well as water is formed. Okay, right. So next one is magnesium oxide, MgO. Magnesium oxide is a solid. This magnesium oxide when it reacts with sulfuric acid. What is the formula of sulfuric acid? It is H2SO4. It is also in the diluted form. Both react to produce magnesium sulfate salt plus water is formed. Magnesium sulfate MgSO4, its formula is MgSO4. It is also in the aqueous solution. Okay. Next we can move to the reaction of acids with metal carbonates and metal hydrogen carbonates. Okay. So CaCO3 is calcium carbonate, right? Metal carbonate. This is a metal carbonate example. Calcium carbonate is an example of metal carbonate. So CaCO3 is calcium carbonate. It is in the solid state. Okay, so you have to put S inside the bracket. Plus hydrochloric acid. Two molecules of HCl is hydrochloric acid. It is in the diluted form. Okay, diluted with water. So both combines to produce the salt calcium chloride. What is the formula of calcium chloride? It is CaCl2, right? So CaCl2, it is in the aqueous form. Along with that, water plus carbon dioxide gases released. Okay, right. So next one you can note sodium bicarbonate. Sodium bicarbonate. What's the formula of sodium bicarbonate? NaHCO3. Okay. Sodium bicarbonate when it reacts with sulfuric acid, it forms sodium sulfate and its formula is Na2SO4. Along with that, water plus carbon dioxide gases released. Okay. So metal carbonates or hydrogen carbonates when it reacts with acid, it forms salt, water as well as carbon dioxide gases released. Okay, so you should understand the concept behind each and every reaction takes place with acid, which gas is formed. Okay, and what are the substance react and they produce a new compound. Okay, so what are the compounds are forming for each and every reaction. So these things are very important. Okay, you have to get practice while writing the equation, right? And also you should not make mistakes while writing the compound A, and also you should balance the equation. These things are very important while writing the equation. Got it, children? Right. Next we can move to the reaction of acids with bases. Okay. So both acid and base, they react to produce salt as well as water. Okay. So acid, when it reacts with base, they produce salt and water. For example, HCl, aqueous solution. HCl is hydrochloric acid. Okay. Hydrochloric acid, aqueous solution means when it is dissolved in water, then we can say it is called aqueous solution. So hydrochloric acid, when it reacts with sodium hydroxide, NaOH is sodium hydroxide. This HCl is an acid, whereas NaOH is the base. Okay, so acid as well as base both react to produce sodium chloride salt. So sodium chloride is a salt, that is common salt which we are using at home, isn't it? So NaCl as well as water will produce, right? So acid, when it reacts with base, they react to form the product salt and water. Okay, here you have to mention the physical states. If it is aqueous solution, then you have to put inside the bracket you have to mention AQ. Aqueous means dissolved in water. Hydrochloric acid dissolves in water. This is called aqueous solution, right? So in this reaction, both their acidity as well as basicity range will destroy. Hence, such reactions are called neutralization reaction. Okay, during this reaction, their acidity as well as basicity range will destroy. This reaction is called the neutralization reaction. Okay, acidity as well as basicity, these things will destroy during this reaction. Right? Next, we can move to reaction of acids with sulfides and bisulfite. Bisulfite is otherwise known as hydrogen sulfide. Okay, so sulfide, when it reacts with acid, both react to form salt plus water. Along with that, sulfur dioxide gas will release. Okay, so once again I repeat, sulfide reacts with acid to produce salt, water, along with that sulfur dioxide gas release. Right? CaSO3 is calcium sulfide. S means what? It mentions the physical state of the compound. Okay, so S means it mentions solid state. Calcium sulfate is a solid. When it reacts with calcium sulfide, CaSO3 is calcium sulfide. This is a solid substance. This substance, when it reacts with HCl, 2HCl, it's a dilute acid. Okay, not concentrated HCl. Dilute HCl means what? It is dissolved in water. Okay. HCl gives CaCl2. CaCl2 is calcium chloride. That is also aqueous solution. Along with that, H2O plus sulfur dioxide gas will release. Okay, so you have to mention in words as well as next line you have to mention the formula of the particular compound. CaCO3 is calcium sulfide, reacts with hydrochloric acid. Okay, both combines to produce calcium chloride. This is a salt. Okay, along with that, water plus sulfur dioxide gas will form. Right. Next, we can go to sodium Na2SO3. So Na2SO3 is sodium sulfide. Okay, Na2SO3 is sodium sulfide. When it reacts with the sulfuric acid, what is the formula of sulfuric acid? It is H2SO4. Okay, so Na2SO3 is sodium sulfide, reacts with the H2SO4 as sulfuric acid. Here you have to mention the name of the compound, sulfuric acid. Both react to produce salt. That is Na2SO4 is sodium sulfate. Okay, Na2SO4. Along with that, water plus sulfur dioxide gas is released. SO2 is a gas. Okay, so you have to mention the physical state as G, whereas water is a liquid. So you have to put L inside the bracket. Got it? Right. So next one is NaHSO3 is sodium bisulfite. Okay, NaHSO3 is sodium bisulfite, or otherwise we can say sodium hydrogen sulfide. So this compound, when it reacts with the HCl, hydrochloric acid aqueous solution, both react to produce common salt, that is sodium chloride. Along with that, water and sulfur dioxide gases released. Okay, so you have to mention the compound name as well as you have to mention the formula correctly while writing the compound. Okay, so next we can move to reaction of acids with metal sulfides, right? So metal sulfide, when it reacts with acid, both react to produce salt as well as hydrogen sulfide gas will release. Okay, So for example, FeS is iron sulfide or ferrous sulfide. Okay, Fe means iron. So FeS is iron sulfide or ferrous sulfide. When it reacts with sulfuric acid, H2SO4 is sulfuric acid. Both react to produce iron sulfate or ferrous sulfate. FeSO4 is iron sulfate, or otherwise you can say ferrous sulfate. Okay. Along with that, which gas is formed here? Hydrogen sulfide gas is formed. Okay. That is H2S is hydrogen sulfide gas. Next one, ZnS is zinc sulfide. Okay. ZnS is zinc sulfide. When it reacts with H2SO4. H2SO4 is sulfuric acid. Both the compound react to produce zinc sulfate salt. Okay, ZnSO4 is zinc sulfate. Along with that, which gas is released here? Hydrogen sulfide gas. Okay, H2S is hydrogen sulfide gases released. Okay, so what are the things we saw now? Reaction of acids and bases. Both acids and bases react to produce salt. Okay, that is very important. So during this time, the acidity as well as basicity range will destroy. These type of reactions are called what? Right, neutralization reaction. Okay. Next one, reaction of acids with sulfide and bisulfide or hydrogen sulfide. So sulfide, when it reacts with acid, they combine to form salt, water. Along with that, sulfur dioxide gas will form. Okay, you can give one or two examples. You have to give calcium sulfide as well as sodium sulfide. Next is sodium hydrogen sulfide. Next one is reaction of acids with metal sulfides. So metal sulfide, when it reacts with acid, they produce salt, water as well as which gas? Hydrogen sulfide gases produced. Okay. So here the equations are very important. You have to balance the equation also. While writing the equation, you have to mention the whether that compound is or otherwise that yes, whether the compound is aqueous solution, means you have to mention it in aqueous. If it is solid, means you have to mention the physical state both in the reactant side as well as in the product side. Okay, and also below the compound, what compound is given. For example, this FeS or otherwise Na2SO3. If you are writing like that, means you have to mention the name of the compound. Okay, so all these things you have to keep it in your mind while writing the equation. Okay, equation part separately you have to write. You should not write. You should not mention the equation in the written formation. Okay, written formation is if you are writing in words reaction of acids with bases. Here you should not continue the equation. Equation you should select a separate place. Okay, it should be visible and also it should be very clear. First write the reactants, mention the compound name and also mention the physical state of the compound. If it is aqueous, mention it. Then put arrow mark, write the product side. What are the products formed? Okay. Right side also, that is in product side also you should mention the compound name of the compound, physical state. Okay. All these things, aqueous solution is aqueous, everything you have to mention. Also mention the compound name without fail. You should write the compound name like this. Here also you should mention. Don't simply write H2SO4. Below you have to write sulfuric acid. Okay. Here sodium sulfate. H2O is water. SO2 is sulfur dioxide. For each and every compound you should mention the name. So write the equations in a visible manner as well as it should be clear. Right. So far we have discussed about the chemical properties of acids, isn't it? So each and every property is very important. You have to keep practice for this equations, right? Mention the compound name without fail. So go through all the contents what we have discussed today. The remaining we will see in the next video. And you should complete the assignment and send it to WhatsApp group. Thank you, children.